Hello everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen, and most importantly, welcome back to the 12 days of Christmas. Today I'm going to be working through a whole Christmas dinner meal and working through a couple of different recipes that I think are so fun. They're recipes from my side of the family along with my husband's side of the family. So if you want to see the recipes that I get up to today, then just go ahead and keep on watching. The first recipe that we are going to start with today is our classic cranberry sauce. This one is super easy, and you just need a little bit of time in advance so that it can have enough time to chill in the fridge. So first you're going to mix up your 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. Then you're going to let that dissolve and warm up. After the sugar is completely dissolved, just go ahead and add in your cranberries. You're going to boil them until they start to pop. That is the goal here. As they pop, you're going to notice that there's some that haven't quite popped yet. You can go ahead and squish those along the side of the pot. That is the only thing you need to do to have a delicious homemade cranberry sauce. You're just going to put this in the fridge and let it chill, and just take it out of the fridge whenever you're ready to eat. Now just jumping into our next project here, you can see me just chopping up, quartering an onion that we're just going to put in the bottom of our roasting pan. Then we're working on another onion. This one we're actually going to leave whole. This roasting pan is what we are going to be cooking our chicken in today. And a little trick that my gram taught me is to have an onion quartered in the bottom of your roasting pan, but keep one whole like this so that you can stick it on the inside of the chicken. That way it helps keep your chicken nice and moist, because as you're cooking your chicken, the onion releases moisture and helps prevent your chicken from being too dry. Now we're just adding some seasonings to our chicken. You saw me add a little drizzle of olive oil, then went in with the salt, pepper. Here I'm using a buttery steakhouse seasoning, a little bit of, or actually a lot of thyme, because chicken and thyme is probably one of my favorite combinations. And we're just adding a few bay leaves to the bottom of the pot just to ensure that everything is flavorful. Quickly just jumping into the next project. Today is a day of back and forth as I'm trying to have this whole Christmas dinner done at the same time. That is something that I have been working on when it is kind of more of a complex meal, having all of the elements done, ready, and warm at the same time. That is the goal. So I just put our chicken in the oven, and that is actually going to cook, I believe, for 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is a fairly good sized chicken. It is 6 pounds, 6 ounces. And it was actually one that my parents grew for us, so that is very exciting to get to try. Now that our chicken is in the oven, we can switch over to the different Christmas dinner sides. So today we are going to be working on my Gram's famous homemade stuffing and my mother-in-law's famous sweet potato casserole. The start of both of these dishes is, of course, boiling the potatoes and boiling the sweet potatoes. So that is just what I'm mashing up now. And as you can see on the back burner there, I have a little concoction of chicken broth, butter, onions, and celery. We are actually doing pretty good on our timing today. We have our cranberry sauce all ready and in the fridge. Our chicken is in the oven roasting away, and we have started on 2 of our sides. One of my goals for a long time has just been to get very confident making a holiday meal, whether that be Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, anything you can think of. If you're gonna have a chicken or turkey dinner, I want to be able to know how to do it with using recipes from both my family and my husband's family so that we can have all of the cozy nostalgia. I am just mixing in all of the different ingredients for our sweet potato casserole filling, and I can definitely add the recipe in the description box below. It is a family recipe, but by no means is it a secret. Everyone can enjoy it. I brought it to a holiday dinner at one of my friends' houses this year, and everyone loved it and asked for the recipe, so I would definitely recommend trying this one out. It definitely is a crowd pleaser, and to top it all off, it uses very simple ingredients that you no doubt have on hand, and it's so easy to throw together. It is just a quick little recipe of boiling your potatoes, mashing them, adding the few ingredients, mixing it all together, spreading it evenly on the pan, and topping it all off with a delicious walnut crust. Also, the walnut topping could not get any easier either. It is just a simple mixture of brown sugar, flour, crushed walnuts, and a little bit of butter. Then you're just going to go ahead and take a fork and mix that all together, almost as if you're making an apple crumble. That's the sort of consistency we're looking for here, just so we can have all of the butter mixed in with the flour in order to create a walnut crumble. And it's just as easy as that. That is everything you need for the walnut topping. So just add all of the crumble pieces on as evenly as you can. But as you can see here, I'm just going ahead and taking a fork and kind of making sure it's a little bit more even. And that is another recipe all done. My gram was actually the one to teach me how to cook a turkey, but a chicken is basically the same. So one rule of thumb that she gave me is either be sure to baste every hour, or if that isn't something that you want to do, or if you're a little bit rushed for time, something else you can do is add a couple of strips of bacon to the top of either the chicken or the turkey, and as it's cooking, the bacon will actually do the basting for you. There is a little tip for you if you would like to give that a try. I trust anything and everything that my gram says. She is the queen of turkey dinner, so if you do that, I'm sure you would love it. This recipe is another one that my gram taught me, and it's kind of funny because the first Thanksgiving that my husband and I had together, we used boxed stuffing, and where there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, I can promise you we will never go back, because any gram recipe is a delicious one, and this is no exception. This is her famous homemade stuffing, and I promise you, if you try this recipe, you will not want to try it any other way. The not so secret ingredient that we're working with here is this freeze-dried poultry herb blend, and I'm not sure why, but I think the freeze-dried aspect of the herbs just keeps everything so fresh and delicious. Of course, we're adding some poultry seasoning as well. I don't think it would be stuffing without it, but the combination of these two ingredients together just really pull everything together and make it so delicious. So the base for this recipe is the mashed potatoes that we already made. We cubed up some of our sourdough bread and added in the little liquid mixture that I explained before, and added our spices, and that is essentially it. Try your best to mix it. It is a little bit tricky, and just remember to always taste as you go to see if you need to add anything else or not. But this recipe truly is so easy, and we will be making it every single year. The thing about this recipe as well is it makes quite a bit. So I usually fill a 9x13 pan, I was actually running out of 9x13s, so I broke out 2 8x8s, but don't worry, we'll cook one of them today and then we'll put the other one in the freezer for later, and then it just makes a little easy meal prep for another night. Two of my goals in the kitchen is, one, to get really good at putting together a classic holiday meal, and the second one is learning how to cook meat very, very well. I think I have the holiday meal down pat. I'm still working on the technique of how to perfect meat every single time. And I'm not talking about like ground meat, of course, or just something easy. I mean learning how to make an impressive roast or something like that. Something fun that in your mind your mom is able to do. These are the skills I'm trying to learn. As you can see, the chicken turned out so well, so I am fairly confident in that one. And all together, it just looks like such a beautiful meal and pretty fun meal prep for this random weeknight. But hey, I'm sure no one is going to complain. To pull this meal together, we cooked some broccoli and took the drippings from the chicken and whipped up a little gravy, but that's it, and dinner is served. I just wanted to say thank you so much for spending another fun day in the kitchen with me. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!